Hello and welcome to the Infocus series section of Drishti IAS. I am Aisha Singh, and in today's video we will be discussing about the United Nations 2023 Water Conference, which has taken place in New York between 22nd to 24th of March 2023. So we'll be discussing about what happened in the water conference. So let us first look at the timeline. First we'll be looking at the news, then what is water conference, about its background, and what has been the major outcomes of this water conference, and what are the initiatives that the Indian government has taken till now regarding clean water and sanitation. In the end, the mains practice question. This topic is of relevance from General Studies paper 2 and 3. Paper 2 is government policies and intervention, and paper 3 is conservation, regarding water conservation. Very important topic, especially from the mains perspective and also from essay perspective. You should be able to know about the outcome of the water conference that has happened. So this news has been taken from the explained section of the Hindu, and this says what was the United Nations water conference and what happened there. So first is water conference, second is what has happened in the water conference, regarding the outcomes of the water conference. So the United Nations has held its first. So whenever something is happening for the very first time, it becomes all the more important. So you should be able to know that this was the first United Nations Water Conference in 46 years on March 22 to 24 and happened in New York. So the date was March 22 to 24, place was New York. Was which organization? That is United Nations. Was first conference, first water conference. So the conference coincided with the mid-term review of the International Decade for Action. So when the conference took place, with it the International Decade for Action was also taking place, and both of them coincided with each other, and it was felt that there was an urgent need for action. It was demonstrated by a report titled Water for Sustainable Development 2018 to 2028. So this was the report, that is Water for Sustainable Development 2018 to 2028, which tells us that there is an urgent need for action which needs to be taken regarding the water conservation and clean water and sanitation. Then the United Nations has recognized that we are not doing enough to meet SDG 6. Now what is SDG 6? SDG 6 is Sustainable Development Goals. So we have the many Sustainable Development Goals, and out of those the Sustainable Development Goal 6 talks about clean water and sanitation for everyone by the year 2030. So the United Nations is saying that we are not doing enough to meet the Sustainable Development Goal 6, which talks about clean water and sanitation by the year 2030. It means by the year 2030 we will not be able to match the Sustainable Development Goal 6. This is what the United Nations is saying. Then what is water conference? So what has happened in the water conference is, what is the term conference means? So conference cannot be done by a single person or an individual. So conference happens when there are many people coming together, many groups coming together, many individuals coming together, sitting at one place and then discussing about something. So this is what happens in a conference. So same way the water conference brings together people from different countries and organizations to work together on solving global water challenges. So what has been the water challenges? This water conference was about solving those water challenges. And water problems are usually local, but by working together, countries can learn from each other, share technology and invest in solutions. So what happens? This is saying that water problems which happens is usually on the local base, is usually happening at the local grounds with the local people. But what can countries learn from each other is that how they are solving that water problem on local basis, because it might be possible that if one country is able to do that, then the other country can also reciprocate it and will be able to solve it also, because the water problems usually are almost same, and they can also learn from each other, share technology, how they are able to do that and invest in solution. And the theme for the 2023 water conference was Our Watershed Movement, Uniting the World for Water. That for clean water and sanitation, all the globe or the people all around the world should come together and conserve water. Then about its background, the last water conference was held in the year 1977 in Mar del Plata, which was Argentina. So this becomes an important point, that after 46 years, that is, last water conference was held in year 1977 and the place was Argentina, and now it is happened in the year 2023 and the place was New York. Then this has resulted in a global action plan to provide safe drinking water for everyone. So the last water conference actually talked about the safe drinking water for everyone, that everyone on this planet at least has the safe drinking water, so that the health and sanitation can be reached at least a certain level. Then the plan helped reduce the number of people without access to safe drinking water in many developing countries. So majorly the countries which are suffering from not up to date safe drinking water, or less safe drinking water, or minimal safe drinking water, are the developing or the least developed countries, because these are the countries who do not have the natural resources and are actually suffering to even meet the basic necessities. So in the developing countries, it was seen that because of this conference, it was seen that the standard of clean water intake was coming up. Then the outcomes of the new water conference, the major thing which happened in this conference was, first of all, around 713, that is 713 diverse voluntary commitments was taken by philanthropic donors, governments, corporations and NGO. And out of this 713 voluntary commitments, which were relevant to India was around 120. And this 120, they included a $50 billion commitment from the Indian government to improve rural drinking water services under the Jal Jeevan Mission. Because under the Jal Jeevan Mission, the government aims that the clean drinking water should be given to almost every household, and especially the rural drinking water should be improved, and everyone should in the rural areas also should be able to get clean drinking water and safe drinking water. So one of the few outcomes was about the technology. It says that the specific innovations in wastewater treatment or solar treatment of water in remote areas, and the number of proposals of incubation platforms including IBM Sustainability Accelerator, important point, focused on water management. So this says that the technology can be used to provide safe drinking water and sanitation to people who are especially living in the rural areas and who do not actually have the access or the capital to afford for themselves the better quality services. So it is because of the technology that we can reach or we can make those vulnerable people or the marginalized people feel better and feel healthy. Then comes the data and model. So we need to be very focused, and the research and analysis needs to be done that where the investment should be put on, because providing a safe drinking water and sanitation services is a very basic necessity when it comes to all the people, and especially to the people who belong to the lower strata of the society, because it is largely seen that they are the people who are living in bad conditions which are harmful for their health, and they are actually getting the diseases also because of their lifestyle. So we must anticipate potential impact about the investments that we will be making, and it needs large amount of input data, because it is the data which will tell us that what can be a good investment and what will be a bad investment. Then the World Meteorological Organization's hydrological status and outlook system. This is a system which has been prepared by the World Meteorological Organization, a good example for you to write, which actually offered data analysis tools that with this World Meteorological Organization hydrological status and outlook system, this will give us a data analysis that okay, on this on this databases, this will be a good investment for someone and this will be a bad investment for someone. Then knowledge sharing, one of the most important point, because to reach further and to go forward into something, we need knowledge sharing. Many people needs to come together and talk and share one knowledge with another, because someone who is not very much updated or is not very much aware about the other things can also put in their expertise and learn from other people. So they need to accelerate cross learning, and one of the useful tool is W12 plus blueprint. Important example, and this W12 plus blueprint is a UNESCO platform that hosts city profiles and case studies of programs, technologies, policies that addresses common water security challenges. So what is this W12 plus blueprint? So first and foremost point is, it is a UNESCO platform, and what does it do? It addresses the water security challenges. So whatever are the water security challenges, through its knowledge, program, technologies, it will be able to solve these water security challenges. Then capacity building. We need to work together to develop the betterment and the improvement in the already existing services. So many people lack access to basic services because they are unable to advocate for themselves, because there are people who are not able to speak for themselves and they cannot raise their voice, or their voice is unheard. So it is important that these kind of people and the voices which have not been heard till now needs to be heard. So we need to build capacity among the people so that they will be able to do what till now they have not been able to do. Then efforts like the Making Rights Real initiative. An example of this, it offered to help marginalized communities and women understand how to exercise their rights. So this initiative is doing very well, because they are telling the women and the marginalized section, okay, these are your rights and how you can access it, and these are your rights, you need to preserve them and you need to work for them. Then civil society, very important and a very, very powerful tool in today's time, because civil society in nowadays is a very, very, very upcoming initiative. They are very powerful in their own ways because they know how to raise the voices. Then several platforms for collective action. Many people can come together and do a collective effort by civil society groups lobbying for changes in regulations. They are a group of people and they are influential in their own ways. They know how to raise their voice. They know what steps needs to be taken, and that is why they can actually make a difference. One of the examples can be creating transnational networks. Then comes environmental, social and corporate governance. See, governance is ultimately where the point lies. It is how the things are being happened around people, how or what are the ways that are being taken around people to preserve something or to conserve something. What is the behavior of the leaders, or what is the behavior of the normal people who are doing, or what is people doing their bit that they can actually ask the other people also around them to be better governed, or the government can also ask them to behave properly. Then it is the governance aspect that needs to be taken into consideration. Then big barrier to farmers and industries using water more efficiently is that they have no incentive. And this is where actually the problem is lying, because the governance, the government needs to give certain kind of incentive to the people so that they themselves can look into its working, and they can also identify on their own level that okay, this is right, this is wrong, this needs to be done, this needs to be done. That people would themselves know where they would stop. Then this was all about the outcomes of the water conference. These were majorly the outcomes which the people on the conference, or which the civil societies or the many people from different governments talked about. Now few of the initiatives taken by the Indian government on clean water and sanitation. So this can be, I'm telling you the names. These are Swachh Bharat Mission, very obvious. We are the one of the very ambitious program of the government, that you need to keep your surroundings clean. Then Jal Jeevan Mission, that every individual of the country should receive a safe drinking water. Then Jal Kranti Abhiyan, we should save water, not overuse it. Then National Water Mission, National Rural Drinking Water Program, because we knew earlier that the rural people who are living in the rural areas were not receiving safe drinking water. Then Niti Aayog Composite Water Management Index. So this was about few of the initiatives taken by the government. So before moving on to the mains practice question, Drishti IAS is coming up with the NCERT course. So whoever is starting with its UPSC preparation can go for this, because NCERT forms the base of every aspirant, and it becomes almost mandatory, and they are the base of even the whole syllabus is from them. You can go for the NCERT course, and this is starting from April 20th in online format, and you can also go on the Drishti Learning app to look into this, and the admissions are open. So now let's move towards the mains practice question. This is a 10 marker question, and this question came in the year 2020. So this is a PYQ, and this says, what are the salient features of the Jal Shakti Abhiyan, which was launched by the government of India for water conservation and water security. So you have to talk about what are the features of the Jal Shakti Abhiyan. So I would say you will be able to do this one. Go and search about this, read about it, and try to understand what are the features, what it is, what are the good aspects, what are the bad aspects, and all other things. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading and keep writing.